You guys have an iron, like to iron clothes. If you guys believe in irons,
I not believe in irons.
I don't believe in irons. I wear my stuff crinkle. By the time I get home, it's ironed.
No, I can't wear wrinkled clothes. Some clothes stay wrinkled forever.
If I ever am around someone, friends with somebody, people ask questions like, "Oh, what do your parents think about this?" And then you have to be like, "Oh no, I don't have parents." And then there's this whole silence and whatever. But now it's just I don't really care, to be honest. Like the people that actually care about you wouldn't really use that against you and wouldn't think horrible things about you just because you don't have the same things as they do. But sometimes you just can't hide the fact that you have experience. So I guess that's what I think I said it was because it's part of my life and I can't really, and I just accept it and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it saved me, so I don't hate it or anything.
So it was about going over the experience, what their care system is like, and getting around to see their care homes, as well as going over to meet new people, have new relationships, and hopefully build something that's going to last a couple of generations.
I feel as a care leaver you do grow up more quick than people who aren't aware or have been in the care system. That's my experience. I felt like I had to grow up a lot quicker than like my sister who was at home.
Life was tough, being millions kilometers away from your mom. That was one of my worst experiences I've had to go through. It's like throwing you out in the jungle, and you know how the jungle is. You gotta survive, it's tough. You have no one to support you.
I think people don't realize the impact that they have on people by just, like for me, we were speaking about this yesterday. I have a learning disability due to my trauma and something that I know, right? So I couldn't really focus in school, so I would always make jokes and just mask it with a lot of talk, and I mean it got me here, so I thank God for that.
It was just that connection of the experience of care. Like we kind of both had an understanding of what each other might have been through. Obviously not knowing each other's story, but we all have our own care experience and our own stories of how that experience affected us growing up. We don't live in the same continent or anywhere near each other at all, but even just sitting down talking, who at the time was a complete random stranger, just felt so normal. It felt like we'd been friends for years.
Again. So guys, we want to avoid this. Even I do this, then I do this. So don't keep it here. Let's always straight, keep it. Now guys, it's a line. It's a line. Now we're gonna go bouncing. We're gonna just bounce guys. Back and forth. I started working here, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years back. And I'm still the only female trainer in this gym. I enjoy what I do. Every day I look forward to doing my classes. Even though there's days where you'll be like, I'm not feeling well, but I still come and still do my classes because I enjoy helping other people. I want to see other people grow and reach their goal the way I did, the way I reached mine. Not because it's a lot, it takes a lot of energy to wake up in the morning, to go to the gym. So for me, fitness is a mental thing and a physical thing. I see it both ways. To be honest, a lot of our mental health is neglected, but not everybody like talking. I think for me, I feel like just going to the gym and doing your thing, it's helpful for some of us because I also didn't like talking. Fitness is just something that just to get the rest of my emotion out. Because when you're angry, a lot of things builds up in your body. You become tense, your heart beat faster, but sometimes talking helps. But your body also needs to let go of that tension inside. So I think working out and just coming to the gym and our physical thing, it does matter a lot. I love where I am right now. So that's, for me, I think fitness is a very important thing in young people's life, a lot of young people. So because we don't really get the opportunity to talk. So our talking is just like, let me just go work out and do what I feel that, because I don't think that, because the dumbbells in the back won't charge you. Because a lot of people we kind of scared of judgment. Because if I speak to you now, I'm scared you'll judge me for what I'm about to say. So I'd rather go punch your back, or the back say nothing. Left, right. You ready? Left, right. Left, right.
South Africa itself was insane. So even just flying over the actual continent and then just seeing like mass deserts and mountains. Like I've seen mountains before, but none the size of what I've seen in South Africa. Like that Table Mountain, like Black Mountain's like not even half the size of it, and it's just huge. Walking about the town as well, I really liked going through the wee markets, the atmosphere. It kind of felt similar but different to Belfast, going through the marketplace in Belfast. So.
Okay, now pose.
To match our skin.
Said Mamelani.
Mm-hmm. Like they help, like when you at the home they didn't teach us like much of budgeting and how to go look for a job and stuff. But so that way Mamelani like
Oh, they help you with that?
yeah, so and then they also helped us like with building connection with other people and if maybe you wanted to study, Mamelani was also there, like just to help you mentally because it like imagine 3 years before you leave, they tell you like, okay, the moment you finish with high school, you're out. That already like oh my gosh, like the moment I'm writing my matric, like my final exams, I must start thinking of I need to be out of this home and stuff like that. So Mamelani was also there to just like help you like mentally, like if like I'm someone that stressed a lot, so I will go like to Charlie. Charlie was my mentor. Like Charlie, like I don't know what to do. How am I going to survive out there? Like the one thing they always made sure is to tell us that whenever you need like something from them, you can they'll always open the door for you. And then I started living independent. I started renting my own place. Just which was very hard for me emotionally. Not physically, mentally, yes. It was quite draining because like you don't know anyone out there, and when you're so comfortable living in a home where you've been given everything, it's just like you actually realize like I took that place for granted. Like if they could have told me a long time how hard life is out there, I would have listened to each and every advice that they were giving, and I would have tried to save as much as I could as well from there. And I would have tried to prepare myself mentally as well, kind of.
You hurt your fingers, not your arm. You see what
It's to prevent the blood from rushing.
Yeah, so dramatic.
Let me be dramatic again. I guess when I moved into my supported living, my expectations were quite low. At that point, I was just like, I just have to scope out and see which ones are gonna care about me.
Yeah.
And which ones I just shouldn't tell anything to.
Yeah.
I think one of them particularly, like, I met him the first day, and he was just helping me with like a CV and stuff like that. And then after that, every time he was in, he would be like, "Do you want some food? I'll cook you some food." And then we would always eat together.
Yeah.
And I remember always being like, "Oh, this must be what it feels like to like have a father or something."
Yeah.
Because it was really nice. But he left a few months later. It's always like that. You make a really nice bond with someone and then they go away. It's something you have to come to terms with. That the really nice ones will just go away. I think what was my like catalyst of these people are great was my 18th birthday. So in the morning they had given me the cake. I remember I was like, I really didn't expect it, and it was really a good thing to happen, because I just wanted to, when I was younger, I wanted to celebrate birthdays like everyone else did, get presents and get a cake. So they just basically made all that happen without me having to ask them or anything like that. It's supposed to be like a starry night, but it's more abstract. But no, I like that it's just going to be here even after I'm gone. And it's going to represent people having a really nice time here. And as I say, it's our safe home, because nothing really harms you in here. But yeah.
Can you explain the sides for us?
Yeah, so this side here would be the Protestant side, and then the other side would be the Catholic side. And during the Troubles, this wall was made to separate the two to stop the rioting. At night time, there's 2 gates, and all the gates will be closed at a certain time. It takes so long.
Selfie with me. Nelson Mandela says, times change, we need to change as well. We need to take a picture as well.
How does it feel to be reunified with your family? Like you said you used to see them once a month and now you see them every day.
Well, my foster placement broke down when I was 18, so I went into care when I was 6, so I only got to see my mum one day a month for 13 years. But then whenever that foster placement broke down, I moved into supported living. At the beginning, it felt very strange. I went from seeing her for 1 hour a month to multiple days a week. It did take some time to build that like mother-daughter relationship, rather than a friendship relationship. We got to build that relationship up again, and it was good. Yeah.
So I first got involved with Parliament was the review in the Children's Social Care Services. This was a review into the services that we used. Why don't we give our recommendations? Why don't we use our voices? So then I personally was speaking in front of our politicians and saying what I wanted changed, what we needed changed. They took that on board, and we are now working towards those recommendations being met.
Wow, that's great. That's actually great.
Yeah, but mine, so, because I don't, I tasted that, but I could taste the carrot straight away.
Can't remember exactly how I got involved with VOYPIC because it's been so long, but I remember being part of the mentoring program. I think it was about 4 or 5 mentors I had, and every single one of them was amazing. And then that led to some group work with yourself, and then from that it was kind of just like a joy, like a passion of just wanting to come back and continue all the work that we were doing, from like working with the MPs, the going away on residentials and learning more about other people with similar care experiences. I'd actually say it was more of an advantage being in care because I had organisations like VOYPIC. There's a lot of support coming from them.
And I want you to know you're all an inspiration to us, all of us. As I said earlier, I don't know what your life journey was like and challenges that you've had to face and overcome, but you are the reason that we're in this post, people like you, and the reason why we work so hard. And it doesn't feel like work actually because we care so much.
So you said something about how people would treat him because he lived in a children's home, and that took me back to when I was young, when I started primary, how people would actually bully me for being in a children's home. and how they would make fun of me when I used to carry a plastic bag as a school bag because I didn't have what they had. I just feel like people are so mean to us who lived in the care home because they don't understand what we've been through, and they would just say, they would call us orphans, and they don't actually understand the concept of a children's home. And they were like, I was bullied from primary school right up to my high school days, and our people distance themselves from me, and I feel like I had all that anger and sadness built up because of how people treat us. And his statement was true about what we become is how people what people expect us to be.
It's almost like you have two personalities, the one that you want to be and the one that other people want you to be. Again, I was bullied quite a lot in school. I was known as the kid who didn't live with their mum, or I was a weirdo for being in care and that was my fault. So I think like doing what we're doing now will hopefully, and I think it will, spread the awareness that we are just normal human beings. Like we just have
Differences.
differences and life circumstances.
At the age of 18, I had to leave the Child and Youth Care Center. So not being able or used to the community, I feel that that was like the worst mental health I ever had. I was crying, I was depressed, I was going through it. And I didn't know what to do with myself or where to go. Or at this point, I was still a student. I had to go to college with not having sleep, with being not able to eat. I had to start working and I had to study at the same time. And it was there and then I decided that, you know, it's not all difficult and life is what you make out. So with me working and studying at the same time, I decided to get a place of my own. And getting a place of my own meant a lot to me. It was more like you are going to be your own shield now. I've been through so much and I didn't want anything else to become in my way. And I also didn't want people to say that, yes, she comes out of a center, she doesn't know what she wants. With the help of Mamelani, I'm sure I wouldn't have been the great person I am now. I believe that I can do anything that I put my mind to. And I didn't have the support that I would wanted, and it's not easy. It might seem like it's easy, but there are days that I do miss my mother, or just a little bit of advice or a little bit of hug that I can get just to help me go through life. But I can say is not giving up and persevering and not making my past determine my future is the words I live on. And I remember a lecturer once told me that intelligence is the ability to adapt to change.
Back in the days, I would never actually say I came from a children's home. Only my close friends I would tell them I'm from a children's home. Yeah, it was tough. I don't know how was your side of the story, on if maybe people asked you your background, will you tell them you are from a children's home?
No, I kind of masked it. Like, so I would only tell a certain amount of people.
Yeah.
If I said to people that I'm in care, they wouldn't understand, and then they would be very biased, and then they'd be making fun of me, and that's why my confidence went down, and so I literally just surrounded myself with a couple of people, and I didn't tell them all my story. I just told just a few people. So yeah, so it just masked it basically that I was in care. So.
You on camera? How do I take a picture? I don't know how to do this. I can't see the butt.
Ask your leader.
Well, I'll shine my torch. Yes, please shine the torch. I can't see.
Make sure the phone does not slip, eh?
No, it won't slip.
My journey throughout on how where I started and getting here, Mamelani was I would say one of my strongest support system that time, where they help young youth that are close to leaving their homes, that are about to step out. Basically, they teach us life on how life it is outside.
Yeah, so with VOYPIC we've done so much. We went to Stormont and we've done a review. We're trying to make young people's lives better for the next generation, so we are. And then I've come on this trip with VOYPIC too, and it's been a grateful experience. It just came so far, and they've really have brought my confidence out, so they have. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
What is your favorite plant in your garden?
My favourite plant? Now you've got me on the spot now.
Or what would you say you like a lot?
The waterfall. It's just so peaceful, natural.
I used to live in a child and youth care center, and last year I moved out and I moved into an independent living house. When I moved there, I was scared because I was like, I've been in a child and youth care center for almost my whole life.
Yeah.
And now I'm going out there living alone, going to live alone. And to be honest, I felt like when I moved out of the youth care center, no one would support me. And no one is going to be there when I'm going through things.
Yeah.
But then it turned out the opposite of what I was thinking. So even though I do live alone, I do everything by myself. For example, if my anxiety catches up with me, I need someone to be there for me. So I always call my youth care center.
Yeah.
And they will like have a chat with me and I'll feel better. So our independent house, you only allowed to live there for 4 years, but sometimes you don't finish your 4 years because they'll be like, okay, you're stable enough to live on your own, and then they have a little talk with you on the side that you need to find a place to stay on your own, and because you're stable enough, and you're basically making room for another person to come in. But I must say, I've enjoyed my days in the independent house with my people.
Yeah.
Did you ever? Did you? I'm like, no. The guy that plays the piano. Did you ever like? Do you ask the? How to play?
I'm not into piano.
Well,
I'm
I
more
would take
into
every other
I love dancing.
Yeah.
I see something other people will see you as an inspiration. Other will see you as that, oh, you're just that child. Because some of us are always known as the bad kids, But like, if someone has hope for you, sometimes, like I said, when someone have that hope, it also give you hope. Like, oh, if that person understands me, then why am I so scared to say where I come from?
When I say, often I wouldn't say care leave is not in the term that I would use. I would say children's home. And then when you say children's home, they don't understand. You have to say orphanage, which is often the terminology that everybody knows, like, oh, you're that kid with no parent. Now that's already to like, okay, so if you're gonna start it there, I'm not gonna explain. I was one at all. Once I just do that, you came that, I was like, okay, that's where it ends. I'm not gonna give you much more than that.
I think the reason why we are all sitting here, like at this point in time, is because we did not have that knowledge that we have now back then. Because if we knew back then that everything that we have been doing has been self-inflicted, like everything is just up here, like you are telling yourself, this is who I am, or just because you don't know who you are, you're allowing other people to tell you who you are. So I feel like for my personal mission is to let the young people that are still in care, even younger than 16, I mean, even if it starts before then, so we can get them, like when I did early child development, they taught us that when a child is small, that is the time to teach them because their mind is absorbing all the information, right? So to get them to understand, like, you are your own person, you can be whoever you want, don't let anyone tell you anything, because like everyone has shared over this this day, yesterday, that child and youth care workers are the ones that see to them, right? But at the end of the day, you're gonna leave that child and youth care center and you're gonna be on your own. They're not gonna be there, not Mamelani staff. You can call, reach out to them, they can reach out to you, but it's gonna be up to you if you are gonna respond to them. So if we can get young people to know that you are in charge of your life, that you are in control, then yeah.
So there's little nameplates at each of the seats, so each councillor gets their own seat and they sit with their party. So I'll show you where the parties sit.
You are the Lord Mayor of Belfast.
It's actually shocking these kids to meet the politicians here. Whereas in our country, we don't even meet our politicians like at all. We only see them on TV when they're announcing something or when they're voting.
If you can find those politicians that are going to champion your cause, then that's half the battle.
Yeah. Oh my god, it is really heavy on your one I wore than the Armagh one.
Oh, it'll be much heavier than the Armagh one.
I was also mentioning it's no use that we want the parliament to do everything because some of them are not aware. But should there be a team of us that can make them aware and maybe also have them sit in and make them understand, it will help, it should have an impact. Because I'm pretty sure most of them are not really aware of a lot of things happening between transitioning care. They know about the centers, but I think the living care is but what the focus that they don't actually know what happened. They also probably just under the impression these kids know where to go to, so they don't actually know what actually happens after 18.
Yeah. Like how have you known what to say to your politicians? Like, it's all written down in bullet points. But who decides? We decide.
Yeah, it's like the young people come together in a big group, and it's just like we discuss it and decide on what we want to say to the politicians.
So capoeira, when I started it initially, the intention was just like to be part of the community that does not kind of make you feel excluded. That in that circle, that you just feel like everybody's really supporting you, hyping you up, and nobody's saying like, okay, you did that wrong, but everybody's really enjoying the style of play.
It literally felt like we had like a collective over because we have VOYPIC, Mamelani. It like felt like we just have one voice.
It really just show the value of this connection in the relationship that is
in such a short space of time. Yeah,
exactly, and how much a community can be defined differently rather than just this community that you feel like, okay, you are part of, but the community that might be far away from it, yet still feel close.
Our stories the same. Our stories are the same but different and journey. Our stories and journeys are the same but different.
What are you grateful for?
Just part of this process, and it was just all the emotions and throughout, just being thankful and kind and just hopeful for the future and just grateful to be in here, and yeah.
Let us see. Let us see. It's a candle.
It's a butternut squash.
Initially, the program started as Advocate for Change, right? But it has become so comfortable space where we can just listen to each other's stories and feel like family and feel like home and feel like this is where we will definitely bring about change. Because yes, we've been through similar things and yes, we've been through a lot, but for the type of people we are, this fun we have together, the laughters, you would never say that we have the same situations and that we've been through all those things, but we conquered it. So I just am amazed by the process.
So I struggle a lot, getting a job, getting everything. I cry day and night. Sometimes you have to put your pride aside if you need help, Don't fight everything. Obviously, you're a man, yes, you wanna look tough, but even though you're struggling, remember one thing. If you need help, it's always good to ask,
Like there's a stereotype of people in care will think everyone in care is bad, but it's not just here, it's everywhere. And whenever we were talking, that was not reassuring, but I felt good to hear that it's not just here that has that stereotype, but also it kind of made me angry as well, but it's like, right, we actually need to do something to stop this.
James, courgette.
What is a courgette? Sorry.
It has shown me that there really isn't that big of a difference. The care experience background does not make you who you are. It's what you learn through life.